Smile Consulting and Digital Construction presents Ted Smith as your guide through this webinar. I'm a public relations professional, and I am here to help teach you how to buy a home in 7 steps as a tipped employee. My promise to you is home ownership. If you follow these steps, we'll get you in a home, maybe of your dreams. Orlando is one of the most expensive markets for rent. And it's actually cheaper to buy a home in Central Florida. So if you're tired of throwing money down the drain and ready to start letting your money work positively for you, then listen up. I have a 7-step program especially created for people who work in the hospitality industry. Disney Springs, one of the biggest hospitality places in the country. So let's get you living on tree-lined streets and elevate your adulting to new heights. The 7-step checklist. What's on the checklist? First, you want to know why you're ready to buy a home. Next, you want to get organized. After that, we're going to attack the credit score and teach you how to claim your tips. Then, you want to create a routine on how you deposit your money and create checks and balances. And finally, get a realtor and get pre-approved. Now we're going to go over the steps and how we can make them work effectively for you. First step is why. Why are you ready to buy a home? This is a question that you have to have a reason for. Whether it's for an investment, vacation rental, next step with your significant other, or just tired of throwing money away, there's got to be a solid reason of why you want to buy a home. Without this, you can't move forward. After we've established why we want to buy a home, we want to get organized. I want you to create a folder on your desktop called Real Estate. I'll attach a link that'll teach you how to do this if you don't know how to do it yet. But I want you to get organized with the information that I'm giving you today. So we'll create separate files for things like your credit score, your pay stubs, your W-2s, homes that you may have found that you're interested in, potentially realtors as well. This will all make things organized and easier when the time comes to actually buy. Your credit score. To buy a home, you need a minimum credit score of a 630. As you can see from the chart, they say that's a fair and average credit score. A lot of lenders will finance for a little bit less, but the value you're getting is not there. And since we're already working so hard to get organized, let's put in that extra time and get our credit score up to par. The first step in this process is figuring out what your credit score is. I recommend using Credit Karma. It's a free app and it's relatively accurate. It also gives you lots of recommendations on how to repurpose your credit score and things that you can do to make it better. Also online, there are tons of tutorials of ways to help bring your credit score up. Next, as a tipped employee, it is imperative that you claim your tips. Lenders look back at your pay for 1 to 2 years, and sometimes for tipped employees, they go back as far as 3 years. The reason why is that you never know what you're going to make on a daily basis. So they can't have a solid, proven format of revenue. So your loans are based off your debt to income ratio. So if you are not claiming all of your income, you are putting yourself in a horrible position on getting a loan. And they're not going to give you a loan amount up to par of what you're wanting or what you can legitimately afford. So you have to claim all of your tips if you want to get a house based around the money that you actually make and can afford. Next, create a routine that works for you. This is a really, really important part. In the food and beverage industry, the hospitality industry, the tipped employee industry, you are working with cash all of the time. So you're not always able to explain where that money comes from. Even though you know you're getting it from work, the bank, the lenders, they don't always necessarily believe that. So if you can create a routine, like every Friday at 1:30, I deposit set amount of cash in the bank, then it shows maybe you've done that for a year. You take that in, your lender sees every year or every Friday for a year, you have put the same amount of money in. It's a routine. It doesn't look like it's a gift from somebody. It's actually something you can explain because you have a track record of how that's actually happened. These are very important steps because lenders can throw off the entire thing based off money coming in that you can't prove. And you can't necessarily prove that you made that at work. So having ways to show that you have a routine and this is what you've been doing for a long time, it shows a track record that that's actually the truth and where it really comes from. After you have done these first 5 steps, your last 2 steps are to get a realtor and get pre-approved. If you have followed all of these steps, they will put you in a position to succeed. Now it's important to get the right realtor and they will get you pre-approved. I have 3 steps for finding a realtor. 3 qualities that I think you should look into when looking for a realtor. The first one is trustworthy. You want somebody that you can trust, that has your best interest in mind, and that is here to help take care of you. But when you're looking through a list of realtors, how do you know who you can trust and who you can't trust? Well, this is kind of the hard part, I guess. The way that I do it is you look for somebody that you know that might be in that industry. Or you look at people and talk to people that have bought homes that you trust and see what their realtor was like and find out the qualities that they were looking for. And maybe they know somebody that's good. Here we recommend Steve Codwell because he specializes working in the hospitality industry. And he's worked in the industry for over 10 to 12 years. So he has a reputation of being a trustworthy person. So that's an idea of how you can figure those things out. Next, you want to find somebody that listens to you. You can instantly know right away if a realtor is listening to what you're asking for. And there's so many realtors out there. Find one that really will try and get you exactly what you're looking for. If you say you want a 3-bedroom home on 1 story, 2,000 square feet, and no swimming pool, and they show you a 5-bedroom with a swimming pool, 2-story, they're just looking at your budget and not the interest of actually what you're going for. So make sure they listen to what you want. And finally, you want them dedicated to you. You want somebody that's going to put in the work, the effort, the time that you want to find a home. You want to send them homes that you're looking for on your own because you're excited and you want them to get you in them and go find them and go look at them. So find somebody that's dedicated to what you want and that's really has your best interest in mind. And if we do these things, you should be able to get into a dream home. So I hope you've enjoyed my webinar on how to buy a home as a tipped employee in 7 steps. Happy shopping.